Welcome back, beautiful tri state area. You're listening to a moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next, in Discover Your Potential segment brought to you by Rise Up Media Marketing, we're featuring our newest segment contributor, Dan Gilman. Dan is founder of Hummingbird Radio. And of course, Hummingbird is influenced by his mother, Cindy Gilman, a famed radio host. He joins us in his latest venture, bringing things full circle on this Discover Your Potential segment. Today, we're joined by podcast host and author of When Life Happens, William Jackson. We're chatting unlocking your potential from adversity to empowerment. Now, when a sinus infection led to a stroke and paralysis, doctors gave William little to no chance of survival. Following two brain surgeries and learning how to perform every bodily function over again, he now dedicates his life to ensure people overcome what he describes as purpose paralysis and discovers the freedom of living a fulfilled life. Joining me now to the show are my friends Dan and William, chatting about the power of words and how if you speak it, can it actually manifest? Welcome, superstars.
Hi, Zen. Welcome, William.
Thank you so much. Excited to be here.
William, your ability to connect deeply with people from all walks of life is critical. It's not just your great smile and way with words that motivates people to take action like never before. When people face roadblocks or adversity, it's the depth of your knowledge on achievement that creates lasting results in your program. I'm eager to hear what Dan is going to ask you. Take it away.
Thank you for being here. You experienced a significant health crisis leading to paralysis. How did this challenge shape your approach to personal development and helping others overcome their purpose paralysis?
Well, Dan, in 2000, when I had the sinus infection that spread to my brain, I never anticipated having a stroke that would leave me paralyzed. There was no history of stroke in my family. Nothing gave me insight that this would happen to me. So when I had to actually learn how to do everything that I took for granted over again, it really just opened my eyes to the things that we, number one, take for granted, but also how we approach life in general. It's amazing that so many people are willing to throw in the towel when the functionality of what they deem their life to be is no longer working the same. So I teach people how to battle through those moments where you hit that wall, when it's not working, when the relationship isn't working, when the business isn't working, and tap into the true essence of your potential. Because if you can break through that space, your limitless potential just explodes and you really are able to achieve greatness in all facets of your life.
Love that description of purpose paralysis. You must all check out this book. When Life Happens has been described as life's playbook, and the foreword is written by the legendary motivational speaker Les Brown. It was a beautiful read.
Absolutely. So my question is, on your podcast, When Life Happens, you discuss thriving in adversity. Can you share a key strategy or insight that has been most impactful for your listeners in turning obstacles into opportunities?
Absolutely. Great question, Dan. So, one thing that I help my listeners and all the people that I'm in contact with develop is the art of leaning in. Most
Mm.
people, I think, when we hit tough times, the tendency is to try to escape, to try to run away from it. But it's those who actually lean into the toughest times that you come out on the other side better. You come out on the other side stronger. When you lean into the toughest times of your life, you extract the lessons and the tools that are necessary for you to sustain the success that you're desiring. Once you start seeing difficulty as development, it shifts your perspective. It's a game changer. When you're in the space where you are able to lean into, it's those who run into the fire that come out on the other side with everything that they've desired. So I help people stop experiencing partial pieces of their promise and destiny. When you actually lean in, you get the full gamut of what you were created for and get the full essence of your purpose. No more partials. We teach people how to lean in and extract the tools that are necessary.
Yes, it reminds me of the notion of speaking the words into the universe and manifesting. It's a very real thing. Ask and you shall receive, is what I always say. Words consist of vibration and sound. It is these vibrations that create the very reality that surrounds us. Words are the creator of our universe, our lives, our reality. Without words, a thought can never become a reality. If our words and thoughts are the very tools with which we create our reality, then surely they are our most powerful tool yet, I would say. Therefore, we should only pick the very best words in order to create our very best reality.
My next question would be, your website quotes Winston Churchill. Continuous effort, not strength or intelligence, is the key to unlocking your potential. How do you apply this philosophy in your coaching and motivational speaking?
Well, I believe that unlocking your potential is not a destination. It's not a moment. It's a lifetime process
Mhm.
because we are ever evolving. A lot of people settle because they reach a place where they say, well, you know what? This is good enough. I've reached a place to where now I understand where I am, but then you change over time. And if you base your pursuit on things that are fleeting, like your strength, one day the strength will leave. One day you won't have the intellect that you once have. I'm at the age now where I go downstairs and forget what I came down for. When you get to that space where now you're basing your pursuit on things that are fleeting, you're devastated once that changes. So if you're committed to the continuous pursuit and continuous effort, then you're always learning and evolving as you evolve. And then you're able to extract the true essence of your purpose in every season of your life because it changes.
I love what you're saying. It's
Mm.
actually very true. We apply it into even myself, right? I tell all of my friends and family, choose your words wisely because as a society, we've become conditioned to talk about our misfortunes and problems, and we take our interpretations of events and people and ourselves and communicate them to the world, bringing them into existence. So by that admission, when we moan or complain about our lives to others, we're putting those negative words out there to become a reality. And when you say something out loud enough times, your words become the truth, not only in your own mind, but in the minds of everyone you are saying them to. So what you're saying is so profound because it's really just taking the core of manifestation and applying it going forward. I love it.
And I just have to, this is a quote that I absolutely love by Rainer Maria Rilke's quote. The only journey is the journey within, is featured on your website. How does that resonate with your personal journey and the message you convey to your audience?
Well, I believe that we're all a external reflection of what's going on internally. You don't reproduce what you want, you reproduce who you are. So if
Mhm.
the case of how I'm doing on the inside is what reflects externally, then I have to be willing to go in to make sure that I am whole, mind, body, soul, and spirit, so that I'm able to reflect that necessary attitude, the necessary energy that's conducive to set me up for a life of success. It's being willing to do what I call the dirty work of actually going in and uncovering and repulling and rediscovering yourself over and over and over again, because whatever's going on the inside is going to reflect externally.
This brings me back to positive emotions, right? Positive emotions have been linked with better health, longer life, a greater well being in numerous scientific studies. But on the other hand, chronic anger and worry and hostility, those increase the risk of developing heart disease as people react to these feelings with raised blood pressure and stiffening of blood vessels. But it isn't easy to maintain a healthy, positive emotional state, and harnessing the power of happiness and mindfulness and inner strength can be a daunting, clueless task for many. The key is to maintain a happy, consistent state throughout life.
Yeah, absolutely. So my next question, fulfillment formula 6-week program. Could you elaborate on the core principles and how it aids individuals in finding their true calling?
Absolutely. Once again, I think so many people settle for partials in life, partial happiness, partial peace. And my goal, I've dedicated my life to help people find true fulfillment in every area. So it's rooted in wholeness. And some of the things and principles that we are based on is rewiring your perspective, because how you see things are a true indication of where you will end up and what you will receive. We do an exercise that I call collect the dead, where we do some historic extraction, where in ancient times where there was battles and war, they would give opportunity for each side to go collect the dead and bury them properly. And so many times we look back on our lives, on our history, and all we see is the carnage of the failures or the mistakes, because we haven't truly gone back and buried it properly so that we can tap into the fulfillment for our future, because how you look back determines what you see when you look forward. So those are some of the key principles that we do to really extract and help people to walk into fulfillment.
Closure is so important. I love that you said that because it's true. You have to really be able to have closure in the past to be able to move forward. And that closure is critical. And since we're dropping quotes like they're hot, philosopher Edmund Burke said, "He that wrestles with us strengthens our nerves and sharpens our skill. Our antagonist is our helper. Life is the worthy opponent. The antagonist, we all need to grow. When we have the right tools to overcome adversity, we embrace the situation as a helper rather than letting it stop us from achieving our goals and reaching our dreams."
Yeah, and speaking of building your self-worth, your program on building unshakable self-worth seems critical for personal growth. What are the initial steps someone can take to start this journey of building self-worth?
Well, I believe self-worth is the key, most definitive core concept that determines what we receive in life, because you will never receive or achieve anything that you don't think that you deserve. So
Mm.
really heightening your self-worth, how you see yourself, your perspective internally, that will begin to attract some of those ideas, some of those creative ways to tap into purpose. So we really take people through this journey of seeing themselves differently, seeing their past differently, so that we can make them future focused. And one of the key things that we do, one of the key things that anybody can do outside of enrolling in this course, is identifying your storyline. What is the thing that you've been rehearsing about yourself for years? Because a lot of times we want to change the script of our lives, but we haven't identified what we've been rehearsing and what has become second nature in our
Mm.
mind, body, and soul. So identifying that storyline is key.
Mm.
Well, we are almost at the end of our interview. This is fantastic. I'm feeling so inspired. I can't wait to kick off 2024. Dan, do you have any closing thoughts?
Well, I just have a closing quick question. Your book is described as life's playbook, offering a blueprint to a fulfilled life. Can you just share quickly an example of how one of your book's strategies has transformed someone's life?
Absolutely. So we teach people how to prepare for the unexpected. There's a chapter in the book called "What the Heck Was That?" I believe that the hit that has
Mm.
the ability to shake your very foundation is the one you didn't see coming. Insert a global pandemic. How could we prepare for that? But when you have a mindset that's always preparing and looking forward and having an intentionality of how you're moving through life, when things happen that are unexpected, you are still more prepared than the average person. So I believe that when you get into the space, because life happens to us all, when you get into that space where you have a level of preparation and intentionality, you are able to experience the greater side of life rather than just life dictating where you end up. So we teach people how to always prepare, how to be proactive, and how to be forever planning.
Well, that's officially out of time. Thank you so much for joining us. This was such an insightful conversation. I can't wait to send everyone to your website to follow your program because 2024 should be the year of change.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Just
so
so
much.
excited to be here.
We are at the end of this inspiring interview, my dear friends, a few days away from 2024. So take a moment to reflect on the year that passed and what changes you need to make to live out your best life in this coming new year. That was our Discover Your Potential segment brought to you by Rise Up Marketing, featuring our newest segment contributor, Dan Gilman, joined by the amazing William Jackson. You could head directly to William's website at theofficialwilliamjackson.com, or you could check him out on the gram at the official William Jackson. And don't forget to head to discoveryourpotentialshow.com for more insightful interviews. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this. Happy holidays.